Welcome to the Higher Self Club podcast. I'm your host, Shay, and together we'll dive deep into topics such as mindset, manifestation, money, business, and wellness so you can feel expanded and empowered to create a life of joy and freedom. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. Let's get into it. Oh my gosh, we're back. I am so excited to be getting back into the podcast. Welcome back to another episode. I don't know about you, but this year has been a fucking ride. I'm sure, I swear everyone I speak to, it's been a big year. Wow, so much on, but here we are. I am so grateful to be here talking to you. For now, I really just want to dive straight into this episode, which is a juicy one. And I feel like if you are anything like me, you are going to resonate deeply. And hopefully you really enjoy this. So what sparked the topic for today is I had an experience the other day and it really shook me to my core and it really sparked my desire to talk about this topic. So what happened was I received an energy healing by my beautiful magical friend Chrissy, who is incredible. And this energy healing just shifted something deep inside me. It felt like my tolerance for things that are out of alignment in my life, it just hit the floor. It was like this physical feeling as if old stagnant energy fell off my body and all that was left was just knowing exactly what I want. And I felt so brutally cutthroat about letting go of anything else. It was very intense. I saw my friend Lily the next morning. We went for a walk and I was so fiery and she was like, oh my God, you're scary. Joking, but also I was like, no, I feel kind of scared. It was just an intense feeling. I just had this relentlessness about my truth. It was crazy. And also what was cool is this was an online healing. So this happened through a computer screen in a group. It wasn't even a one-on-one healing. It was crazy. So I highly recommend Chrissy. I really need to get her on to an episode so you guys can learn from her. But from that experience, I really wanted to talk to you and speak on energy and the energetic field and the importance of energetic hygiene. So what I mean by that is looking after your energy just as much as you look after your physical health or your mental health. Arguably, I actually am coming to believe that looking after your energy is more important than looking after your physical or mental health, because whatever manifests in your physical health, it originates in your energy field first. So if you don't know too much about energy, this might be a bit hard to wrap your head around at first. I know when I was first learning about this, I was like, what is this? Because unless you grew up with caregivers that taught this to you, which I know I definitely didn't, you were probably taught that if you can't see it, if you can't measure it or explain it, it doesn't exist. So that is the belief that many of us have grown up with and have been conditioned to trust. But this could not be further from the truth, because we are surrounded by invisible forces every second of every day. You are listening to me right now on a device that is either connected to Wi-Fi or cellular signal. You can't see the Wi-Fi or the phone connection, but you know it is there. You can hear me speaking. You can't see my voice. You can't see the sound waves of my voice visually, but you know it's traveling to you because you can hear me. So this shows there are all sorts of different energetic frequencies that as humans, we cannot detect with our human eyes. The entire universe, everything that you can see and everything that you can't see, is made up of vibrating particles of energy. Even solid matter, such as a table or your car, it's still all vibrating energy particles. So a tree, a song, a thought, an emotion, they all exist on different vibrations, creating different form. So only by tuning into the physical, the things that we can see and feel and touch, we really limit ourselves in so many ways. We often, optimize our diet and our sleep and our workout routine but we ignore the energetic body that influences all of it. And this is why so many people feel drained or disconnected or just feel off, even when they're doing all the right things. And I know this was definitely the case for me. I remember feeling off for so long, even though I was eating all the right foods, I was getting enough sleep, I was, doing all the things. We really have become a society that is so obsessed with optimize your macros, your sleep score, your steps. But people truly are more anxious, burnt out, disconnected, and confused than ever. And why is this? Because no matter how honed in on our diet we are, no matter how many workouts we do, if something is off energetically, it can throw everything else out of whack. All this optimizing that we do sometimes, it can create so much pressure and constriction in the body. Your energy field needs space to thrive. This really is knowledge that humans have known since the beginning of time. Ancient cultures were great at understanding energetic intelligence. And then when science came in, people needed to have a structured, hyperlogical understanding of things. And that really disconnected us, especially women, from trusting our intuition. So this truly is nothing new, but science is beginning to catch up, which is really cool to see. Something that I find super fascinating, I often talk about this at the start of my breathwork classes, is that your heart emits an electromagnetic field that can be measured up to 2 meters outside of your body. So they actually have a device now where they can stand up to 2 meters outside your body and they can tell you how you are feeling because it measures your frequency, because all of your emotions emit a different frequency. You intuitively know this because when someone walks into a room and they're super angry, you can feel it. It's truly not woo-woo, it's physics. So once you start paying attention to your energy, everything changes. When you can learn to sustain a higher frequency in your body, that's when you draw more people, more opportunities, more experiences towards you that are also on that frequency. This is the law of vibration. So you might have heard of the law of vibration before. So that says like attracts like. So what affects your energy field and what impacts the frequency that you are emitting into the world is a number of things. So there are a number of things that affects the energy you're putting into the world, and these include what you consume. So think food, your physical environment, conversations you have, social media. This is anything that you physically consume. And then also your internal state also affects the frequency that you are emitting. So this is your beliefs, your patterns and emotions. So all of these things, everything that you're putting in to your body, and then also what's happening internally, these work together to create your energy output, which is the frequency that you are emitting into the world. Based on what frequency you're putting out is what you're drawing towards you. I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I've gone on a bit of a tangent. I'm just so passionate about this topic. The workings of energy, it's just undeniable to me. So over the years, I've been so curious about how energy works and how I can work with energy. And I've really been fostering a loving relationship with my intuition and my understanding of energetics and especially the energetics of manifestation, which I find so fascinating. So as I mentioned earlier, we need to be vibrating on the same frequency as the thing that we want to attract. And what blocks us from reaching certain frequencies are old beliefs and old patterns that can hold us in a lower frequency. So bringing light to these beliefs, these hidden beliefs that sometimes we can't see, and integrating them, we can raise our frequency. So I recently uncovered a pattern in myself that I'd previously been completely blind to my entire life, but I had been playing out up until that moment. And I wanted to share this with you because maybe someone will resonate with this, and I feel like someone needs to hear this experience. I just have this feeling that someone needs to hear this. Growing up, my parents, when they were still together, I remember them fighting a lot. And then when they broke up, me and my siblings would go between the two houses, and I remember always consoling my younger siblings, but somewhere along the way I learned to ignore my own needs. and I was so sensitive to the big emotions happening around me that there was no real space to express my own emotions. And that pattern followed me into adulthood, into relationships, into my work. And it wasn't until recently I was listening to a Peter Crone podcast one day. Love that man. Definitely check him out if you haven't heard of his stuff before. He's amazing. I was listening to one of his podcasts where he was coaching someone on a similar topic, and I felt like he was coaching me, and I was like, oh my fucking God, that's what I'm doing. That's a pattern I have, and I've only just noticed it, and it cracked me open. It was like hearing a truth that I'd been avoiding my whole life. And it was quite confronting, to be honest, because I was like, how is this playing out today? And is there something big that I need to change because of it? It felt scary. But it made a lot of sense because in my first relationship, I stayed in it for 7 years, even though my needs were not getting met. And I often find myself wondering why. Why did I do that? And now I realize it was because his happiness was more important than mine that whole time. So I had to step back recently and examine how this pattern is playing out in my life, and if it is still today. And this is where that energy healing with Chrissy came in. So I'd done that kind of work mentally. I'd done the self-inquiry to understand what was going on. And then Chrissy came in and she uses her own method. It's called energetic surgery. And it was like she stripped away this pattern of self-abandonment. I felt like my guides were there shaking me by the shoulders, being like, wake the fuck up. And as I said before, it was intense, but it felt like a total recalibration and made me realize how important energetic hygiene is. So it led me to really sit with what I want, and what I really want scares me a lot. I'm sure I'll share it with you soon once I have some more solid plans in place. So I wanted to share this whole experience with you in the hope that it resonates. And I wanted to also talk about what you can start doing to really tend to your energy. I thought it might be helpful to share some early signs that something in your energy field might be off, so you can start building some self-awareness around where you can direct your attention. So this could include things like maybe you're feeling drained even when you're sleeping and eating well. Maybe you feel like you're just feeling off, but you can't logically explain why. Maybe you're finding yourself being super snappy or emotional for what feels like no reason. Maybe you are consistently self-sabotaging or procrastinating even on the things that you really want. Maybe you find yourself always attracting chaos or low frequency people. These are all signs that maybe something in your energy field is a little bit out of whack. So as I mentioned before, your energy body, it really is just as important as your physical body and requires just as much care. Your energetic body influences your health, your emotions, your decisions, what you're manifesting and creating in your life. So I just really want to encourage you to begin to nurture and tend to your energy a little bit more intentionally. This can look like just starting really small, taking a few minutes each day to check in with your energy. And this can feel weird, and there's really no right or wrong here. And you might ask yourself, am I doing this right? But don't worry, you are. But you can literally just ask yourself, how do I actually feel in my body? What feels open? What feels tight? So these questions can begin to attune you to notice the subtleties of your energy body. Even doing like a body scan where you just start from the top of your head to the tips of your toes and just tuning into different parts of your body and just noticing what's there. And try not to judge, just notice. Just bringing awareness to your physical body. Practices also like, breath work, meditation, journaling, dancing, they all work with the energetic body. These practices help you to tune inwards to notice how you're feeling, so then you can shift anything that needs to be shifted or let yourself feel what needs to be felt so you can come back to your center. Some other energetic hygiene tools include cord cutting. Cord cutting meditations are amazing. Visualization. Visualizing your future is a great way to tend to your energy. Grounding, just getting your bare feet on the earth. Doing shaking. Shaking is one of my favorite practices. Shaking, you just put on a really good song and just shake your body. Time away from your phone is really good. Smudging, using like sage or Palo Santo. You could do a water ritual. Even just, I always recommend after my breath work is to just wash your hands, and just imagine any old stagnant energy washing down the drain. Or in the shower of a nighttime, just imagine the day washing off you. This all sounds woo-woo, but just trust me, give it a go, and just let me know how you feel. One that I love as well, my mentor does this. If she hears something or she accidentally says something that feels low vibrational, she says, cancel, clear, delete. Like if she finds herself saying like, oh, that's so expensive, she'll say, oops, cancel, clear, delete, which I just like to like reset your energy. Or another one is if someone's like being negative towards you or gossiping or something like that, you can just say in your head, return to sender. That's a good one too. And if you feel called, there's all these practices that you can do yourself, but you could explore working with a practitioner, working with an energy healer. But it's really important that you do your due diligence, just as you would when you're investing in any kind of health practitioner or anyone that you're trusting with your health. It's important that you find a practitioner that feels safe and grounded. Just make sure you always check the reviews, because there definitely are a lot of dodgy people out there, and letting someone into your energy field is extremely vulnerable. So it's important that you do truly trust them. I will put Chrissy's details in the show notes. She sees clients from all over the world, so I can highly recommend her. But yeah, I just invite you to explore all the different options and just see what works for you. Because when you keep your energy field clean and clear, and you're intentional about what frequency you hold in your body, you'll notice that the people, the opportunities, the ideas that match your frequency just magically start finding you. Another one I'll mention is simply just practicing gratitude is an incredible way to access a magnetic frequency in your body. I know it can feel a little, just say you're grateful for something, but if you've truly practiced gratitude, it is a life-changing practice, and it's actually been shown to be very good for your physical health as well. But that's a great one to begin integrating daily. And if you are feeling called to dive in deeper and really begin to integrate this work into your life, this is work we do within the Expansion Project. We clear energetic patterns that keep you small so you can truly embody the frequency of the woman that you're meant to be, which is really fun work. The next round is beginning in Feb, and I'm going to run an early bird offer until the end of next week. So if you're feeling the pull, send me an email at hello@shayjones.com or message me on Instagram, and I can send you some more info about that. Once you really begin to care for yourself in this way and you feel clear and centered, as I mentioned before, you magnetize aligned opportunities, stop tolerating bullshit, you feel guided instead of forcing, you attract higher quality relationships and feel more grounded, intuitive, and confident. And I really want this for you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you have the most beautiful week. Hopefully you can do something to nourish your energy this week. Actually, one last thing I'll mention is joy. Following your joy, creating space in your life for joy. That's probably been the most impactful thing that has allowed me to shift my energy this year. It's just allowing myself to do things that bring me joy and not letting those things always fall to the bottom of the to-do list. Just creating an hour or two on the weekend to do some painting or cooking or go somewhere to your favorite place in nature, just something that brings you joy. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. I will speak to you on the next episode. Mwah!